BTS Beyond the Star Episode 3. This is such an insightful episode. There is so much to unpack. There is so much wisdom in their experiences and in their words, and there is so much uniqueness in how they process their emotions and experiences. So I hope that you enjoy this video, and I hope that you get to share your point of views as well. I'm looking forward to them. So if you do end up liking this video, please give it a thumbs up. Of course, subscribe and hit that notification button so that you know when there's a new video getting published, and share the video if you can. Okay, let's go back to the video. And then they changed. The truth is that most of the time, you can't control a situation and you can't control other people. What you can always control is how you react to a situation. It's actually one great sign of maturity. In BTS's case, walking away from what they had meant they would also be walking away from the chance to put their country in the cultural map. They would also be walking away from the fruits of their hard work and the dreams they pursued. However, they can't control how people frame them, talk about them, or want from them. What essentially changed is how they reacted to what they were given. Suga said that between 2018 and 2019, he finally had the chance to fully understand the position they were in, and it's that understanding that allowed him to be happy and to actually go back to making music. It's an absolute relief to hear him say it. The truth is that they didn't clear the hurdle. They simply changed how they see the hurdle, which allowed them to find a way around it. And to this day, many still expect them to do bigger things, and many haters still want them to fail. Their sales and awards are still much more celebrated than the impact their music made on the lives of other people. But it has so far not stopped them from making music. More importantly, they have continuously reiterated their commitment to their craft, to each other, and to ARMYs. The noise hasn't died down, but their peace has not been disturbed again. Rediscovering each other. There's something about the seven of them going on a private vacation while they were going through the hardest time of their careers, and it was organized by Taeyong. They were on the brink of disbanding. They take off with no cameras, no planned activities, just each other as company. And by the end of it, they were well on their way to find healing. There's something incredibly comforting in knowing that when they were lost, it was through each other they found their way back home. It wasn't the awards, the sales, or the records they were breaking that put them back on track. It was each other. Arrogance versus awareness. Humility. That's something expected and even demanded of people who have achieved great things. It's especially important in Asia, but many people misinterpret the meaning of humility. It is not self-deprecation or the lack of awareness of your own milestones or abilities. Humility is the freedom from arrogance, not the lack of self-awareness. When BTS talked about not having anyone to guide them as they navigate their journey towards global success, it revealed several things. First is the awareness that they were the first to have gone as far as they did, the first to achieve the kind of success that they did. They knew it for sure, and they did not need anyone's validation, and they didn't need to be arrogant about it either. That's one of the things that we miss often. The awareness and certainty of the impact we make without demanding acknowledgement or seeking validation for it. Second, they weren't demanding recognition. They simply needed some guidance. It wasn't about being praised. It was about seeking wisdom. Third, it is the epitome of humility, to acknowledge that while they were on top, they were far from knowing everything. It was an acknowledgement that while they were talented enough to make it to the top, there are still a lot more they need to learn. They were wise enough to know that they didn't know everything, and in my opinion, it saved them from the fate that many young superstars fall into. As mentioned by Bang Shiyo, many of them end up depressed, afraid of people, or drug addicted. BTS' awareness of their own need to grow up allowed them to deal with whatever it was they were facing holistically. Instead of escaping from it through self-destruction, they went through a journey of self-discovery. Routine is the enemy of happiness. Bang Shiuk nailed it when he said that the time an accomplishment can make someone happy isn't that long. Also, it becomes shorter and shorter as you become used to what you have. Once things become routinary, the extraordinary becomes ordinary. It doesn't take a genius to know that. If we have a nickel for every disastrous story about successful, rich, and good-looking people driving themselves to destruction, from an outsider, it's nothing short of puzzling to see them have what many others desire and still be unhappy. But routine is the enemy of happiness and enthusiasm. It is almost impossible to always fully appreciate what you always have. Just like what Jean-Paul said, for sleep, riches, and health to be truly enjoyed, they must be interrupted. While I will always be against forcing people to do something, it's also one of the reasons I think the military service might be a good experience for them. It's a world completely removed from what they were doing, a good interruption to the epic journey they have been taking. Wabi Sabi, the beauty of impermanence. I remember a scene in the Bring the Soul documentary, the same night as their legendary dinner, where Suga shared to the member his dream about winning the lottery. J-Hope said that he agreed with Suga, who once said that he isn't afraid of coming down from their high, for as long as it's a landing and not a crash. It is true that the more you have, the more painful it will be when you lose everything. But BTS's acceptance that they can't stay on top forever and their resolve to take control of their own direction showed a boss-level kind of maturity. They have always taken control of their own music and creatives. It is but fitting that they take control over their own career and life in general. It was when I knew for sure that no one can ever pull them down. When it's time, it will be their decision to slow down. They will never be forced into it. They will never be victims for others to abuse or control. They are the captains of their own ships and the masters of their own destiny. Always have been and always will be. Beyond a shadow of a doubt. That log of Jimin, for those of you who don't know the story, he shot that while they were going through their most difficult moment and they were entertaining the thought of actually quitting. And they didn't air it until like a year after. But it is one of my all-time favorite content that they have ever uploaded, simply because there is so much wisdom, so much maturity, and so much love in that video. First, it wasn't a question of whether or not his brothers were going to come back from it. He knew they were going to. It was just a matter of when. That's why he was saying, hurry up, I'm waiting. Come back from it already and let's go back to performing for the armies. So second is that he knew his brother well enough to know that they were going to do it. There was so much confidence in his voice. Third is that there is no remorse, no hatred, no blaming or whatever. It was just understanding. He went through it. His brothers were still going through it. But there wasn't like, you did this, you did that. It was just him saying, I'm waiting for you and I'm here. And through all of that, lastly, there was so much love in his voice. No hatred, again, no pain, just love. And it kind of restores my faith in humanity, knowing that there is a group of people with that kind of love and respect and bond. And I'm just hoping that for those of you who have that kind of relationship with other people, I'm very, very happy for you. But for those of you who don't, I hope that we all get to experience it at least once in our lives, because it's just it feels so good, right? Having that kind of bond, knowing that there is somebody else in your life who will believe in you when you don't have the confidence to do so. Yeah, I hope that you revisit that specific log and appreciate the maturity, the confidence, and the love that he has for his brothers. Music was still home. With the world at his feet, music was the only thing that satisfied RM. from Billboard to Grammy, SoFi to Wembley, Asia to Europe, there was nothing BTS hasn't conquered. Yet, music remained the only thing RM wanted. It's the opposite of many other artists who ended up self-destructing. At the height of their success, they held on to fame instead of the art. And fame is a tricky ally. The same crowd that's pushing you forward could be the same one that will bury you alive. RM holding on to music rather than their commercial success, in my opinion, may have saved him from diving into self-destruction. His anchor was something he himself created, instead of something others gave him. It's for the people that mattered. Suga once said he wants to grow old with armies, and it doesn't matter if all he can do is sit down and play his guitar and sing before a crowd of 200. For as long as he's playing for the people who still want to hear him, he will do it. Hearing him and the rest of BTS express this makes it funny to hear people accuse them of continuously seeking Western validation or validation from anybody else for that matter. They have repeatedly emphasized, especially after that painful year of struggles and almost disbanding, that they want to continue performing for the people that support them. In other words, for armies. Just like what Jimin said, although he knows that armies won't care whether or not their performance is good in any of the international shows that they're doing, he still wants to show the people who are supporting them that they did well performing side by side other global artists. He wants ARMY to feel proud of them. Damn the rest. RM did the unthinkable. He elevated social media. By the time they won their second BBMA Social Artist Award, they were much more aware of who they were and what they were creating. They proved this to be true when RM, in his speech to accept the Social Artist Award, said that being a Social Artist Awardee isn't just about the votes, but about how their words can truly affect the lives of the people listening to them. With that simple speech, what was once a mere fan award has become a symbolic recognition of one's power over millions. ARMY's growth. Writer and author Myung-Sok Kang described it best in the documentary. He said that as BTS evolved and as BTS's relationship with armies evolved, so did armies. It wasn't just about supporting an artist. It was truly about inspiring each other to become better people. While BTS strives to become the kind of artist that armies will be proud of, ARMY started striving to become the kind of people BTS will be proud of. And while there will always be delusional fans, real armies and BTS have mutual respect, mutual love, and mutual desire to be each other's inspiration and pride to help make the world better. Okay, I want to hear what you thought of episode 3. Let me know in the comment section. As you know, you can say whatever it is that you want to say. Just make sure that you say it with respectfully. If you ever ended up liking this video, please give it a thumbs up, and of course subscribe and hit that notification button so that you know when there's a new video getting published. Especially, please make sure that you share the video because it's really helping my channel. Thank you so much. I haven't really gotten to the comment section yet, but I will. I'm still catching up with work after the 2-week vacation that I had during the holidays. But I will get to them. I am reading them. I really appreciate you guys. Please continue supporting me. Thank you so much.